All right. I am live, but I know it takes a minute. So, and nobody expected me to be here today. But I just thought it would be a good thing to come on. There's a lot happening here at Call to Peace Ministries, and I am wanting to just kind of fill you guys in. Actually, I'm getting ready to go on a sabbatical and um, wanted to just talk to everyone and give you an update before I head out. And well, I'm still going to be here another 2 weeks. But anyway, you know how it is when you get ready to leave and go somewhere. Um, you get awfully busy. So I am doing this now, and also thought it would just be real timely because it's the end of the year. I'm going to just try to hop over to um, my my Facebook so that I can see what's going on. If you're coming on, please just let me know you're here and where you're watching from. There we go. I think I found it now. All right. And I know that everybody's busy. It's New Year's Eve. Not a lot going on for me tonight. I've had a lot of New Year's, and so I kind of really don't put a lot of effort into celebrating the New Year. I uh, I feel like they're just flying by now. The older you get, the faster it goes. That's what they say. So, anyway, I did want to just come on and kind of give you a couple of important announcements. Number one is our advocacy classes are starting on Tuesday. That's just like 4 days away from now, I believe, or three, 4. I think it's 4. We are starting our new year. You can join the advocacy classes at any time. You do not have to. Hey guys, thanks for checking in. I appreciate that. Just let me know where you're watching from. You do not have to join at the beginning, but if you want to start from the beginning and go through the entire year, Tuesday's the time. You can join at any point. You can go back and watch the classes that you've missed because we make them available. But it's good to start from the beginning because that way you get the background. These first couple of courses are really the foundation for the whole curriculum. And if you don't know anything about it, Dr. Deborah and I did a little video on it a couple of nights ago. And we also, hi, Nicole. We also we did one with several of our class graduates maybe a week or so ago. If you just go to our main page on Call to Peace Ministries and click on videos, then you should be able to see an info session with testimonials from people who've taken our classes. Honestly, I don't think there's anything as comprehensive as this. I got certified with the North Carolina Coalition Against Domestic Abuse, and this is so much more comprehensive. It's also got that faith-based perspective that you're not going to get in local agency training. And it's not fully, it basically, the courses were written by Dr. Deborah and she taught them in secular areas, but I am adding that biblical perspective. That's what we do. And so we have trained, I don't know, 360, 370 people have taken at least one of these classes. They're amazing for people who want to become better equipped. We've got whole church domestic violence teams taking these classes, which I think is really exciting for me. One thing that we did in 2020 is we started, it might have been 2020, the end of 2020, but it really developed back this past year in 2021. We started a church partnership program. I used to say, I was going in and meeting with pastors. And a lot of times I would say, I think that if I had a pastor who could talk to them, because pastors are going to listen to other pastors. And so we ended up hiring Jim Upchurch, who was on our board at the time. He moved over and became one of our employees. And since that time, now we have 2 other church partnership liaisons who are pastors. Dan Beck, who just joined us, who is actually living in Florida right now, and then Andre Turrentine, who was also on our board and moved over to become a church partnership liaison. And he's also helping with our G5 men's groups. So thank you. So Nicole is sharing the video that I did with Dr. Deborah or Dr. Deborah and the graduates of our classes. So really want to encourage you, if you know anybody who wants to be trained and to do a good job, there are so many resources out there. I certainly know that. and I did a lot of reading when I was coming out. I felt like I had a lot of knowledge, but honestly, the thing that we say in this class is you don't know what you don't know until you start taking these classes. They are just packed full of information. So if you know anybody that would be interested, please share this information. Share the well, I will put some links in here, unless you want to do it, Nicole. Some links to sign up for the advocacy training. And then another big announcement is that we have planned our 2022 He Makes All Things New retreat. It's going to be in the mountains of North Carolina. We have some amazing folks coming, and I'm afraid I'll probably forget somebody. So I'm going to look down. I totally forgot to pull this up, but I will be speaking. My friend Darby Strickland is going to be there speaking. We have a lot of really amazing folks. Rebecca Davis will be coming and joining us, talking about untwisting scripture. She's going to be doing talking on her new books. She's got actually 2 new books on untwisting scripture. Hold on just a second. Just trying to, okay. I want to make sure that I'm probably going to forget somebody anyway. My friend Heather Elizabeth, she's also coming. She's going to help talk about her journey back to health, because basically the bottom line, the focus of this retreat is going to be on the spiritual impacts of domestic abuse, or any kind of abuse, really. It doesn't have to even be limited to that. We will have some things on childhood abuse. Dale and Faith Ingram are going to come, and they're going to talk about that. But the focus is on how domestic abuse, any kind of abuse that you've been through, it impacts us spiritually, first of all, because it separates us from God, number one, and it warps our image of who we are, how we are made in his image, number two. And so we had been just doing these retreats every other year, but we got so much feedback and so many requests, we decided we were going to take a chance and do another one this year. So this one is going to be smaller than our retreat last year. Last year we had over 500 women join us, and we had Leslie Vernick was our main speaker. It was an amazing event. It was life-changing. That was our second retreat. We had done one earlier in 2019, and we got the same kind of feedback. It's just really powerful to have people who understand what you're going through, and to have so many people that you don't have to explain yourself to. That's what a lot of the ladies said. God bless you too, Meredith. And so we are really hoping that folks will sign up. We have an early bird special going on right now, and I'll put the link for that here as well. I believe the early bird special is supposed to end on January the 7th, but we haven't done a very good job, so we may extend that. But if we do, it's not going to be more than a few more weeks. So please consider checking out our He Makes All Things New retreat. I'll give you some of the names of some of the other speakers. We have Rebecca Davis, Darby Strickland, Greg Wilson, who just co-authored the book When Home Hurts. He's actually going to be doing a breakout session for people helpers, church leaders who want to know how to create domestic violence ministries within their church. We have Shannon McCoy and Christine Chappell, who are both friends of mine, who are biblical counselors. And we actually just were talking at the CCEF conference recently, and both of them have some interesting things that I think will be very helpful to you. Charmin Kimbrough, who is Charmin Elaine here on Facebook, Tabitha Westbrook. These are both counselors. That's something else that we do that's very unique at our retreats, is that we have people who are counselors wear a special lanyard. It's got a specific color. And so you can actually set up times to talk to a counselor. And so we have Georgia Schaefer coming. I love Georgia and the stuff she does, like taking out your emotional garbage. And she just has some amazing material out there. And so I'm really happy to say that she's coming. My friend Anne Marie Goudsward, who has a ministry called Help Her, and it's a crisis ministry. She's going to do a session for people helpers. So while this retreat is going to be focused mostly on survivors of abuse, and again, it doesn't just have to be domestic abuse. It will be primarily focused on domestic abuse, but the healing, the keys to healing from abuse, whether it be childhood abuse or domestic abuse, are pretty much the same. And so we're going to talk about that in several of these. Another biblical counselor that I have been just got in contact with this year, Beth Broom, will be coming, and she's going to be speaking on trauma. And Dr. Deborah Wingfield, of course, will be speaking. She and Nicole Stania, who's on here, and I believe we got Hannah Steinke. Also, those three have just done it was an amazing 6-hour advanced advocacy class on parenting, and it was just really practical tips on how to help your children when they're traumatized. I can't tell you how many women that I have worked with over the years whose children were just had so much fallout, including my own. I mean, we have seen so many of them who've had kids who were suicidal, ended up in the penal system, became basically were promiscuous. Can't talk today. Different things. We know that kids who grow up with domestic abuse are just at high risk for all of those things. And so, yes, it is exciting that Beth Broom is coming. So I spoke to her a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, well, she would be great. My friend LaTanya Allen is coming again. She was at the retreat last year. She helped me wrap things up along with Leslie Vernick. I said Dell and Faith Ingram, and I know I'm forgetting somebody. These were the ones that I jotted down before I actually looked at the master list, but it's going to be great. We don't even go for the speakers. This is not like a conference where you go and you find the speakers. This is going to be an amazing event. It's going to be smaller for those of you who were thinking that the last one was a little bit too big. And so early bird special is going to be ending here soon. So please go over to our website and go ahead and sign up. We right now have a payment plan so you could so the conference itself is the conference fee is $200, which includes your food. That doesn't include your room, and you would have to take care of that yourself. There's information on how to do that on the site. But we also have scholarships, partial scholarships, and full scholarships available. We never turn anybody away at Call to Peace Ministries for a lack of funds. So we hope that you will consider joining us. There really is nothing else like it. And so you guys who've been, please talk about it in the chat. It's just amazing. Well, even Leslie, when she got home, she said that it was God breathed. She sent me an email saying that it was amazing, even for her. It was amazing for me as a speaker and as a contributor. God just shows up, because I really think that his heart is especially fond of those of us who have experienced oppression. I mean, he's been through it himself, so he knows. And I feel like there's just something really, really special about being together with so many people who understand what you've probably been through if you're watching this. Okay, so my announcements. Advocacy classes start on Tuesday. We've got that early bird deadline for the retreat sign up. You can just make a deposit now. You don't have to pay everything. Let's see here. Is there anything else? Oh, yeah. Today is the last day that you can contribute and get a tax deduction for 2021. And we are basically just we've actually already met our goal, but the more that we do, because we are always, always, always playing catch up. We have had probably doubled or at least tripled the calls that we were getting this time last year. And so if you don't know, we provide advocates, like personal advocates for people all across the United States and even in some foreign countries. And so when somebody calls, we can provide them that faith-based support that they need. What an advocate does is walk alongside. We don't tell people what to do. We help them explore their options and try to keep them safe. But the whole goal of having an advocate is to improve outcomes. So we know, I mean, there are statistics that show people who have advocates just have better outcomes. They are much less likely to become fatalities when it comes to severe domestic violence. And you don't know when it's going to turn severe either. There have been many cases that I have been involved with where there was no physical harm involved. Nobody was getting punched, and then it turned deadly just overnight. You don't ever know that that's not going to happen. And so that's where having a trained advocate is so important. And these classes are so important so that you know how to respond well. My friend Missy Burns posted something the other day about do not tell a victim of abuse what to do. That is one of the worst things you can do. You may think you're helping by saying, you've got to get out, you've got to get out now, but you could endanger her more. You could make things worse. I actually have worked with a woman who chooses to stay because she knows that the courts are going to give 50-50 custody. That's what courts like to do. And that means that her children would be alone with her husband, and she doesn't trust him. He's been abusive to the children. CPS has been called in, but he's very smooth, and every single time they dismiss it after a while. So she's not going to get out of that marriage until her kids are grown, probably. So you don't understand the dynamics of what's going on in every situation. You cannot respond well. And so that's why advocates are so important. So basically, we've had it because we're exceeding our goal. And if you would like to partner with us and make an end of year donation, please do. It'll be doubled tonight at very least. We've got a $15,000 matching grant from our friend Leslie Vernick, and we haven't met her match yet. So please consider doing that, because what it means is that, as I was saying before, we're playing catch up. It means that we can bring on more staff. We just hired another advocate part-time. And so we basically well, Naomi, who's our intake person, is doing advocacy. We hired Portia, who has been doing advocacy with us now. She's pretty much full time. And we just hired Brooke Egan, who was actually took our advocacy courses and was working as a volunteer advocate for us. And she was doing such a great job and working with so many of our folks that we just brought her on part-time, but we're hoping that she can go full-time in the next few months here. So that's what your money is doing. It's just always going to direct services for victims. Yes, of course, we have overhead, we have operation costs, we have an office, and we have bills. But really, most of our work is focused on helping victims of abuse. Even our church partnership program, we go in and we work cases of abuse, try to help the churches understand how to deal with it more effectively so that people don't end up getting hurt. And I know that a lot of times churches are grateful that we're in there helping them understand, and the victims of abuse are grateful. Now, does this mean that we can go in and we can change the way every church responds? No, but it really has been successful in a lot of cases. So anyway, that is pretty much all I wanted to share. I didn't want to stay on too long. I don't see any questions in here. Oh, somebody's asking me where I'm going. Hold on. So I am going on sabbatical. Yes. So if you can even imagine, when you are running a ministry like this, it just gets crazy. Where am I going? I'm going to Florida. I was thinking I could go get warm, but here I am, North Carolina. My windows are open right now because it's like 70 degrees outside. This is highly unusual. Yeah, hold on just a second. Hey, I'm on a live right now. I'll come out in a minute. Sorry about that. So anyway, going to Florida. We actually have a staff retreat down there as well. And so um, I really need, it's been a particularly hard year for me. And so I really need to just rest and restore. I don't think that Call to Peace will do very well with a stressed out executive director. So I want to make sure that I'm in the right place with him. I need some rest, restoration, just quiet time where I'm not being pulled in 100 different directions all the time. So I'm going to take some weeks and be gone. So I wanted to let you all know that too. So if people are emailing me, texting me, or messaging me here on Facebook, I might not get back to you for a while. And so I will, Susan, put the link for the retreat on the Facebook page. I'll put it here. We're going to start promoting it pretty heavily. I think we either have a post tomorrow or Sunday coming out, but I'll go ahead and put the link in this chat here, and then I'll try to figure out a way to put it in the comments as well. So thank you for that. Yeah, the retreat last year. I went alone, but never felt alone. I actually felt so loved on and connected with so many, as well as more healing in my life. Yeah, I mean, these retreats are just amazing. So please, please, please consider coming and joining us. So that's a lot. So I think I have mentioned everything that I wanted to mention. End of the year fundraising ends the night at midnight. Please donate. We've got a matching grant from Leslie Vernick. Please, our advocacy classes, if you ever felt led, please just check it out. And we'll put a link about that there as well. Advocacy classes are beginning. You can join at any time during the year, but this is the foundational course. Course number 1, I think, is a foundation to all the others. So it would be great if you can start this time around, and we're starting on Tuesday. We have signups for our 2022 spring retreat in the North Carolina mountains. He makes all things new, with an emphasis on the spiritual impacts of domestic abuse. We have Darby Strickland, Rebecca Davis. I'll be speaking. Beth Broom, Georgia Schaefer, and many, many more will be joining us. But it's going to be just a time of rest and restoration for you. And so those are the 3 big announcements that I wanted to put on here. And so I'm going to end it with that. And thank you, Tina. I will be putting the links here. And thank you guys for joining us. We will see you. Hopefully, I'll see some of you in April.